if you want to stop overthinking every social situation you have, whether that's just small talk, having a normal conversation, in group gatherings, at work, anywhere, it's going to come from who you are as a person. So if we want to stop overthinking, we want to be loose, we want to be present to the moment and not stuck in our head, there's going to be a couple things that we're going to need to do. And I used to be the exact same way where I was super stuck in my head, always overthinking everything, like not knowing or trusting or knowing what to say or do, to where I am now, where it's much more free, much more expressive, much more loose. So let's get into why this is happening and how we can fix it. Now, if this is you, guy or girl, and you are super trapped in your head when it comes to just normal day speaking with other people, especially if that's with family, that can be with friends, that can be with strangers, acquaintances, anybody, right? And all these people, you're going to have a different type of level on the openness that you can express with them. And so with your family, you're going to have, maybe a scale 1 to 0 or 0 to 100. Your friends, the same thing. Basically, each individual person about your life, you're going to have a different kind of scale in which you're going to be open with them. Usually in the most healthy cases, it's like family you can be super open with, friends you can be super open with, strangers like you can be like this, and maybe acquaintances like, I don't know, like here. I'm not quite sure. Something like that, right? And then, so that's going to depend on the person, the specific person, and then also the specific topic. And so you may be way more open about like sex and like more vulgar topics with your friends than you would be with your family. But with your family, you may be way more open about more deeper things and not that vulgarness, right? And so there's different topics that you're also going to be more open with too. And then lastly is environment. So some people are going to be more or less open in a certain environment, where they are, what type of other people are around them. And so all these things are going to affect how open you can feel with all these different people. If I'm in a family situation in my house, I will feel more open with my family. If I'm maybe in that family situation in a therapy session or somewhere where other people are watching us, that environment may make me not as expressive around them or not as open. Just to go to show, a whole bunch of factors are going into how open and expressive we are with the people around us and where that's coming from. So now that we have this in mind, if that during our growing up in our early stages of life, we were met by a lot of shame, if we were met with critiques, insults, kind of the same thing as shaming, especially if this was, or judgment, rejection. Okay, so all those things is certain things that someone can be met with in their life. And this isn't anything physical. It's not like you're winning the lottery or you're getting an achievement, or like none of these things are tangible things. They're in the air. They're energy at the end of the day. Like insults are energy. Rejection is an energy. Like all this is energy, and the way that you can define this is a negative energy. So that negative energy that you receive in your life is something that everybody's going to receive, like, right? This is something that everybody goes through in some capacity, some people less than others, some people more than others, but to some degree everybody is going to receive some type of negativity in some degree. Now, this is going to be put against you. And then this is the energy that's coming in, and then it's going to be tested against the person that you are. Now, if you have a strong frame, meaning you have you have a grasp on how you see the world, on who you are, it's basically your opinions, your thoughts, and your beliefs. So your thoughts, opinions, beliefs. This is how you are framing the world, right? And these are about deep things. They're not like, do you like cheese or not? They kind of are, but they're also way deeper things on like how do you treat someone based on actions they've done? How do you treat someone based on what they believe in? How do you treat someone on how they act? How do you treat, like, so many different beliefs going on deeper inside of you. So those are your thoughts, your opinions, beliefs, and these are all for you, others, and then the world. And so you should have thoughts, actions, and opinions about yourself, others, and the world. And you hear that car? That car. I was gonna say barking, but it's obviously just not. It's honking. Okay. Anyways, the stronger that you believe about your thoughts, your opinions, and your beliefs about yourself, others, and the world is your frame. That type of conviction that you have is going to be what this is going to be put up against. And so if your thoughts, opinions, beliefs about yourself is I'm a good person, I'm good, I'm fun, yeah, I'm good, I'm fun, I'm maybe confident, I'm deserving of love, kind of like all these kind of more positive stuff, which I would call positive energy, PE. So that PE against the NE. Well, these kinds of things are going to come into conflict with this. And whoever's frame is stronger, that person's going to believe it more. And so this can come from some random stranger, or this could come from like a parent. When it comes to a stranger, it usually means less. Sometimes it means more. When it comes from a parent, it usually does mean more, especially when you're younger, because you're like, oh, this is the person taking care of me. This person knows everything. Obviously, the parent is correct. Adults are always right. And so that's going to make more, it may have more of an impact when it goes against you. And so if you are a child here and your thoughts, opinions, and beliefs aren't the super strongest about yourself already, they're highly malleable, and then someone like your parent is being very shameful, very insulting, it hits you with rejection, critiques, judgment, all this negative energy, and you don't have this as a baseline, well, your thoughts, opinions, and beliefs about yourself are going to shift to this. If I'm now I'm 23 right now. I had my birthday on the 9th, but I have gone through life, years of life, lots of experiences, lots of emotions. I've learned a lot of lessons. When someone meets me with this, with that type of energy, my thoughts, opinions, and beliefs about who I am, and even though I've had this from, my mom growing up, from close people growing up, close friends growing up, so has a lot of other people. And I don't hold that against them, right? It's just something that was inside of me, kind of was warping my thoughts and beliefs about myself and the world. But now where I am, when this is put against me from other people, even my parent, even other strangers, it doesn't affect me because I know who I am. I just believe who I am more than they do. And so it just doesn't hit me. You can be like, insult my features, insult my character, and insult anything, but I know for a fact about myself, the things I've been through, who I am, what I've done to get to where I am, to accomplish the things I've done, my intentions, my impact, what I want to do, and I believe that, and I have a good grasp of it. I have a good grasp of it for myself. And so my frame wins. That's a lot of writing. Looks like schizo right now. But basically my frame is stronger, and so their words don't really mean anything. But imagine it was my hero who said that, right? Imagine it was someone I really looked up to. Um, and even though I had the experiences I have now, because I looked up to that hero so much, to that one person, his words then affected me, and and I allowed his frame to be stronger than my own words. Imagine I was doing something amazing, but the person I looked up to the most said, "That's fucking horrible. You're stupid. Don't ever do that again." I can be like, "Oh yeah, right. God, ugh," and just not, and then shut down. And then that would be allowing that other person's opinions and thoughts to be overpowering mine. And if that is like negative and it makes my life more negative, that's something that you do not want. And in a lot of early people's lives, a lot of people I work with, and myself included, that type of NE was coming directly from either the parents in some regard, family members, maybe when they were growing up, class members, school members. There was just some type of events and things that happened in their childhood that put a lot of fear of judgment on them. Now, this could be you. And this fear of judgment is you not wanting to mess up. Because if you do mess up, you're going to be met with this. And it may not even be to a fact of like, oh, if I mess up, I'm going to be hit with this. If I'm just even acting normal, I may be hit with this. If I'm just chilling, I may be hit with this at the most unexpected times. And so this negative energy may come out of anywhere at any time. And so what's that going to make me? It's going to make me very vigilant of what's going around me. How do I spell this word? Vigilant. I don't know how to spell this shit. It's going to make me very vigilant on what's happening around me, always aware of certain things that could, certain emotions, certain people's energies that could like turn negative, and then something bad could happen. So I'm always looking out for that. Okay, now we need to go deeper. So this negative energy, how do people kind of like hyper be vigilant of it? Well, this comes from something else where communication. So the way that we do communicate is through energy, basically, as human beings. We communicate through energy, a little bit through words. 93% do that energy, and then around 7% do the words. Okay, but by the energy, what I mean by this, and like a lot of people would just sum it up as energy, sum it up as like a vibe someone has. But the energy, the vibe, the personality someone has is communicated through the subcommunication. So 93% of communication, subcommunications. And what are those? Eye contact, body language, tonality, facial expressions. So, eye contact, body language, tonality, and facial expressions. Tone is my voice. The deepness, the resonance, the pitch, the pace, how slow it is, how I'm responding, how I'm dragging the words, if I'm expressing them in certain ways. My facial expressions, my ability to emote on my face. My body language, how my body is. And then, what's the last one? My eye contact, where my eyes are, how they're looking. A lot of emotion is shown in the eyes. So all these four things are communicating 90% of like who you are. The other 7% is your words. What are you actually saying? And then even in most cases then, it's like not even the actual words. It's like the word association. So like if I'm always using like big words, you may associate me with like smart or pretentious or superficial, a charlatan, depending on how you view someone who uses big words. If I use skater words, yeah, bruh, you may associate me with someone more laid back, with someone maybe more authentic. If I were to use a lot of farm words, right? And so maybe a lot of like evil words. Like you would get associations of what's happening in those words, right? Um, yeah. So it's not even like the words I'm using. It's like what those words and how you, in your perspective, view those words, and then take those conclusions away. And they're all happening so fast, so instantly at the same time. Even right there, they're happening so fast, so instantly. I could have said something else, and then that would have triggered something in your brain to be like, oh, he's actually more of this type of person because he used that type of word. And it's all happening so subconsciously. So that's that. But 93% is this, so we're going to focus on this. And the words do matter, but we'll keep that over there for a second because they don't matter that much. So 93% through the subcommunications, body language, and what else? That is how your energy is being communicated. And that energy is what people are going to pick up on. Right, so this is all your energy, and this is your subcommunications. So this is how we communicate to people. Now, if we go back to this chart, we can see that our expressiveness, our ability to be open and stuff, is going to depend on the person, the topic, and the environment. And then the way that we're going to be more expressive is going to depend on the energy, the subcommunications, or the expressiveness, your expressiveness. So someone who's not very expressive at all would have bad eye contact, bad tonality, bad body language, and bad facial expressions. And by bad, what I mean is suppressed. Meaning they would want to be able to do these things, but they wouldn't, if they would force it down and shut themselves down from having those things or showing those things. Because to be more expressive is to be more open. And to be open is to be seen. And to be seen is to be judged. And so now over here we have this high fear of judgment, because if we ever mess up, maybe we have high standards for ourselves, maybe we have, high standards were put on us, we have this type of perfectionist mindset, we feel like something bad will really happen if that happens, and then from this, we're then working backwards, and so we do not be as expressive. And because of this, because we're not as expressive, we tend to overthink. And so we overthink, we then kind of shut down, we're not like super engaging with the other people because we don't want to be judged, we don't want to be seen. And that is all happening, all of it, because of this kind of base of, I have this high fear of judgment. If that judgment comes, bad things will happen, and I don't want to feel that pain. So I will be not expressive to not be seen. And that's kind of what's happening inside of you. And again, it depends on the environment, the topic, and the person. So when you're suppressing your eye contact, your body language, your tonality, and the voice, that means you're speaking quieter. That means you're not saying the jokes that you would want to say. That means you're overthinking a lot of the things because you're not present to the moment. You're like, okay, what can I say? What can I do? What can I... It doesn't even matter. You just need to be like engaged and not worrying about yourself. You're trying to like correct and not say the wrong thing or not do anything bad, because if you were, you would stand out, and then if you did, you would be seen, then you'd be judged, and then you just can't handle that judgment, right? So you're always overthinking, trying not to do the wrong thing so you don't be judged. Well, that's the complete wrong thing. That's the complete opposite of confidence. Confidence is, I want to be judged. I'm putting myself so much out there, so you have no kind of like option not to judge me, and I want you to judge me. And if you reject me poorly, I don't give a shit. I got my own fucking life going on. But if you judge me and you like it, awesome. You're on for my fucking ride. Let's go. And what happens when people cannot be expressive, and 93% of communication comes through your expression? Well, what happens is you're not able to communicate. You're not able to communicate. So you may say words, or you may be able to talk, but you're not able to communicate. You're just not. And maybe communicate freely, as expressively as you would want to. And that comes out in your tonality, body language, in the jokes that you say, and the stuff that you want to do, right? And that's not even the words. Like, it's that overthinking first that allows you to be able to say the joke in the way that you want to say it. Say the thing that you want to say in the way that you want to say it. In a way that's loose, that's free. So the way that we need to do this is by lowering our fear of judgment. And so this was something I had where my fear of judgment was super high, and it came out from the insecurities that I did have. So I would have insecurities about not being fun enough, not being as engaging as I needed to be. And so what would happen is I would be constantly overthinking, am I being fun enough? Am I being over engaging enough? The same thing happens when you feel like you're not good looking enough. You constantly overthink, oh, but I'm not good looking enough. This person's more good looking than me. This person's better looking than me, so I'll shut myself down, not be seen, not be judged, not be rejected, not be hurt. This person's more expressive than me. I'm going to shut down, so I'm not seen, I'm not judged, I'm not rejected, I'm not hurt. That's an insecurity. That person's more happy than me, so it makes me shut down. That's an insecurity. Right? And so it's about identifying them too. So you need to be able to identify what makes you kind of feel like, oh my God, this person's better than me. Oh my God, I'm not being the person I want to be right now. Oh my God, I'm being judged right now. Identifying what stimulus is making that happen. Identifying, maybe someone comes in and they're super loose and they're super like expressive and having a good time, and that makes you kind of be like, God damn it, why can't I be like that? Like that, you should look at that as an opportunity to be like, oh, I can be open with this person now. Let me try. And not be held back by actually pushed up. So it's identifying those insecurities and then being okay with them. So people are going to be more handsome than you. They're going to be better looking than you. They're going to be prettier than you. Fucking, it's the world, okay? I always advocate for taking the best care of yourself, health-wise, physical-wise, because if you want a partner who's quality, be quality yourself. And, I also just believe that your health is so closely, it's just 1-to-1 for how good looking you are. So if you're healthy, you're most likely going to be good looking, right? So being okay with those insecurities too. So I know I'm not the best looking person in the world. There's people better looking than me. I don't give a shit though, because as soon as I put myself down, as soon as I start judging myself, lowering myself, kind of suppressing myself because of that reason, is the reason I lose. And so I is self-sabotaging myself by having that belief, that mindset. And I also believe that's kind of superficial. Really? You're better than me as a human being because your looks are better? Really? Really? Come on now, right? And I'm also not even playing that game of who's better, who's not. I'm not playing that game. I'm playing the game of let me try to uplift everybody around you. When you play that type of game and you have the tools to be able to do that, that's a different type of game you're playing. I'm not playing I'm better than you. I'm playing how can I lift you up? How can I lift us up together? That's the game I'm playing. Right? And so I don't have a fear of judgment about someone being better than me because I'm not in that game. I'm not playing that game. This person makes more money than me. He's a better person. I'm not playing that game. How can I lift you up? Now, I may get insecure genuinely when I feel like I cannot lift someone up at all, when I have nothing to value this person. In that case, you still have something to value that person. Why? Because you are unique. You are inimitable. You're one of a kind. And your inimitability, your uniqueness, what are those? It's your opinions, it's your thoughts, and those are your beliefs. And if you're able to state those into the world confidently without fear of judgment, people will listen and they will find that attractive because they want to know what your opinions, your thoughts, and beliefs are. Because everyone has a unique life that is beautiful, that have led them to the conclusions that they have made about life, themselves, and other people. So people have lived a unique life of unique experiences, and that can be told through stories and humor, and all that stuff is connecting about their opinions, thoughts, beliefs that they have about the world, other people, and themselves. That should be shared. That is how you connect with another person. You share these things about yourself. You share what you have. I have my family. I have my friend who does this. I have this person who does that. I have this person over here who does that. So start talking about cool things in your life. That is how you share and connect. But if you have that high fear of judgment because you feel like you can't be seen, you can't put yourself out there, other people are better than you, you're not even going to be able to talk about this stuff. So it's about knowing what type of game you're playing. You're not playing the game to be better than someone. You're playing the game to bring everybody up around you. And the way that you do that is by sharing and giving a good time to other people, by giving your opinions, your thoughts, and your beliefs in a way that's confident and expressive. And you can only do that by having a lower fear of judgment, because you have to understand that if you mess up, it does not mean you're going to lead to any. It just means you're a human being. It just means you're a human, right? We all mess up. You can be judged, and it doesn't say anything about you. And that's something that if you've grown up with and you've been harshly judged and shamed for that and hit, abused emotionally, physically, that may be hard in your body, in your mind. And I've made other videos on how that's affecting you in your nervous system, in your bloodstream, in your hormones. But all that is happening, and it's going through the process of not learning something new, but unlearning to be able to be this expressive version of yourself that you were when you were a baby or much smaller. When you came out as a baby, you were like your tonality was loud as it could be. Your body language flailing all over the place, right? And so you were super expressive as a baby, but throughout the world, as you grow up, you learn to hold those emotions in and suppress yourself. And those are the exact things keeping you stuck in your head, overthinking, being a perfectionist, stopping you from being confident, attractive to other people, loose, open, expressive, and the person that you want to be. This has been this video. I love you guys so much. If you want more help with this, you want to be more social, break those negative thoughts, be the person that you want to be, you can book a call. It's in the description. To have a free consultation call for me for my one-on-one coaching, or you can drop I'm just trying to think about the things I'm trying to say, or you can drop a question on my Instagram. Just follow, DM me a question. I'll answer it. With that, I love you guys so much. Peace out, boys and girls. Bye. Love you.